This is TWiT.
Let's take a little break, shall we?
I'm so excited about this new sponsor.
This one is one that was an app cap.
Yeah.
Oh, I am excited about this. This is the greatest sponsor ever. It's MySudo. You remember we showed you MySudo as an app cap because I've been using it for a while and I really love it. My use case was some time ago. Remember, we put in solar panels and we put in solar batteries. And I got a mailer, a postcard in the mail from a company that said, hey, let us do that. And so I said, all right. And I gave them my phone number. Big mistake.
Bad thing to do.
Calls, texts, and, things like, don't you want to talk to us? I mean, like guilty things.
Weird.
From now on, I'm using MySudo. MySudo lets you create numbers for texts, for messaging, for everything that are private, that are you, but are not going to be, you can safely give out to anybody who's going to be bugging you, right?
Yes.
I love MySudo. Everything you do online these days increases your, let's call it our digital exhaust, the put of data coming out your back of your phone. You're spreading personal information all around the digital world, your name, your phone number, your email address, credit card numbers, billing and shipping address, browsing activity. You're into privacy, so am I. So is Anatomy Labs, creators of MySudo. It protects your privacy for the daily activities that you want to do, like giving out an email and a phone number. With MySudo, you can quickly create different profiles. They're called pseudos. So I have one right now, but as time goes, initially what happens is you create one and use it for everything, and then you realize, I'm going to create another profile, each for different activities, right? So each has a working phone number, email. You've got a virtual card, so you can, business card. You've got there's a browser built in. So your browsing is completely private, and it's attached to that profile, to that pseudonym, right? You give your pseudo profile a purpose. You could say this one's for online shopping. This one's for following leads. This one's for selling or online services. Now, every time you talk, text, email, browse, you can even do credit cards with this or pay. You use that pseudo profile, and it's all stored there. So those phone calls don't come to you. They go into MySudo. Those text messages, well, they do come to you, but they go in a space so you can ignore them or pay attention to them as you please. You can create a new pseudo profile with a custom phone number and email address, name it, and when buyers or services ask for your contact info, you use your it's a fully working phone number, an email address, and instead of risking exposure and being pestered to death. You know why this is timely? Because if you want to give to a political campaign, and by the way, I encourage you, even $5, show your support. The problem is you have to give them an email address and a phone number. And then, trust me, I've been pestered for now the whole year of the last campaign cycle. They're going to text you. They're going to call you. Use MySudo for this. It's not that you won't get those texts and calls, but they just go into the MySudo app, which is awesome. And by the way, when the phone rings, and you can have the phone ring if you want, it'll say this is somebody calling the selling pseudo or the political contribution pseudo. No login or credentials, because MySudo doesn't want your information. They don't require any security-prone login or password. They do it the right way with a private key created on the phone as you set up your MySudo, and only you have access to that securely on your device. They do use an encrypted cloud so that you can move to another phone. All the metadata stored in the cloud is encrypted with your key. That means not even MySudo can read it. No one can read it, just you. So these are truly private end-to-end encrypted communications. So there may be other reasons you'd want to use this. If you want to have private messaging, reporters use MySudo so they can talk to sources and not be snooped upon. There's lots of ways you might use this. I love it. It was my app cap. I know you signed up, Micah, for it after I showed it. It's the world's first all-in-one privacy solution. Now, there are 3 subscription plans. And by the way, you can use it for free too, but I subscribed. In fact, I ended up going for Sudo Max. All the plans come with unlimited encrypted communications between MySudo users for messaging, voice, video, and email. So I could have a completely private conversation with Micah, end-to-end encrypted, on messaging, on voice, on video, and email. Totally private. There's Sudo Go, Sudo Pro, and Sudo Max. Increased privacy options at every tier. And, of course, you can try it for free. MySudo takes protection of your data seriously. When you download the app, you never have to give them your real email address. You don't have to even use a password. No contact information. It just generates the key, and now it's locked, and it's locked to your app. Whether you've been hacked, tracked, if you've had identity theft, if you've been scammed, spammed, as I have been, or you just want to prevent that from happening in the future, MySudo will mitigate the common risks we all face today. Download the MySudo app today from the App Store. It's on Android as well as iOS. Go to MySudo, M-Y-S-U-D-O, mysudo.com/twit to learn more. Take back control of your personal information. It's totally awesome. I'll just show you real quickly how easy it is to create a, I have my first sudo here, and I don't even mind showing you the phone number and the email, right? But now let's create a new MySudo, and I'm going to call this one, let's say inquiries, because that was the thing that happened to me. So I'm going to confirm that, and I'm going to have it. The email address will be somebody already has inquiries. So let's say I could say Leo's inquiries. Nobody will have that, right?
Hopefully not.
At sudo.com. And once I've created that, now notice it's doing this completely securely. Okay? Take me to MySudo. Now, I can send a text. I can send a text to anybody, just add a phone number. I can make a phone call. I can do email because I have that new email, right? Leo's inquiries at MySudo or at sudo.com. And then I also automatically have the creators of MySudo, Anatomy Labs, in there. And I think these guys are guys to watch. I think they're doing some really interesting stuff. They really care about your privacy. I can even create virtual credit cards, which is fantastic. So those are tied to that particular sudo, my second sudo. That's how easy it was to create a new identity on the internet. I can even give it a phone number. You choose what country. Should I do, let's do 707, because that's where we are right now. And it'll give me a set of 707 numbers I can use. You may not want to use your area code, right?
Yeah, I used my back in St. Joe for my...
Right. You could use any area code you want. It's a 707-343-4319. If somebody calls that number, it goes into MySudo. I love this. Me too. So there you go. This is a really great way to protect your privacy online. And a new sponsor on the show, we really love them. If you want to try it out, MySudo, MySudo.com/twit. Use that URL just as a little signal to them that you saw it here. That helps us out. But I think you're going to love this. Download the MySudo app today. Take control of your personal information with MySudo.